She's not rejecting you. She's rejecting your energy. You think she pulled away because you weren't good looking enough, or because you said the wrong thing, but that's not it. She felt something off, something weak, something that didn't make her feel safe, or curious, or pulled in. And that something was your energy. The way you walked up to her, the way you spoke, the way you asked those empty questions, like you were hoping she'd carry the moment for you. Women don't reject men because of their looks. They reject men because they can feel when a man is unsure of himself. And in this video, I'm going to show you the hidden psychology behind why most men lose women before the first sentence is even finished, and how to flip that energy into something magnetic, powerful, and unforgettable. Let's begin. Why questions kill attraction? Every time you ask a woman things like, "How are you? What do you do? Where are you from?" you think you're being respectful, friendly, or polite. But to her, it feels boring, cold, basic. Not because the questions are rude, but because they don't bring any energy. She's heard those same questions from dozens of guys before, and every one of them came with the same weak energy, nervous, unsure, and hoping she'll make the moment interesting. That's the real problem. You're putting her in charge of carrying the conversation. You're making her do all the emotional work. And without realizing it, you're sending her this message: "I don't have anything interesting to offer, so I'm hoping you'll give me something to work with." Now imagine how that feels for her. Most beautiful women get approached all the time. They know the patterns. They can feel when a man is leading with confidence, and when a man is just trying to survive the interaction. When you start with questions, she feels like she's being interviewed, not seduced, not invited into your world, not emotionally pulled into a moment. And when that happens, she checks out. Here's the truth most men don't know. Women don't want another guy who acts like he's asking for permission to exist. They want a man who is already standing in his own world, a man who knows who he is, a man who brings energy, direction, and depth into the space without needing anything from her. That's what attraction really responds to. So when you start a conversation hoping she'll give you something, you've already lost the energy. The key isn't in the questions. The key is in the vibe you create the moment you open your mouth. Because if there's no spark in your presence, there won't be one in her mind either. What she's really scanning. You might think she's listening to your words carefully, but that's not what's really happening. She's not focused on what you're saying. She's watching how you say it. She's watching your body language, your tone, your eyes, your energy. She's scanning your confidence. She's asking herself, even if she doesn't realize it, does this man stand strong? Or will he fold the second I disagree with him? Is he secure in himself, or is he just trying to impress me to feel accepted? You may be trying to be nice or polite, but if your energy says, "I need you to like me," she will feel it instantly, and it will turn her off just as fast. Here's the truth. She's not looking for a perfect guy. She's looking for a man who leads the moment emotionally. A man who walks in with his own calm confidence. A man who brings energy instead of chasing hers. When you start asking weak questions like, "What do you do? Where are you from?" she doesn't hear curiosity. She hears fear. She hears a man who is hoping she'll guide the conversation because he doesn't know how to. And the moment she senses that, she disconnects. Not out of cruelty, but instinct. Her brain is wired to feel safe and attracted to leadership energy. Not controlling energy, not fake confidence, but a man who stands firm in his own presence, calm, grounded, unshaken. Women are more emotionally aware than most men realize. They pick up on energy faster than logic. And when a man feels nervous, needy, or uncertain, they feel it in seconds, and their desire fades without warning. So remember, it's not about the words. It's about the vibe behind the words. It's about the energy behind your presence. And if you show up hoping she leads, she walks away. But if you show up already leading your own space, she'll want to be part of it. The shift that changes everything. So, what's the solution? It's simple, but powerful. Stop asking. Start declaring. Most guys open with a question because they don't know what else to say. They think asking something anything will keep the conversation going. But what they don't realize is, questions often show nervous energy. They make it look like you're unsure of yourself, like you need her to take the lead. And that kills attraction fast. The fix? Start with a statement, not a question. Say something real, something that shows who you are, something that pulls her into your world. Let me give you a clear example. Weak opener. How are you? Strong opener. I like this place. It has that calm after the storm vibe. Feels like the kind of place where time slows down. See the shift? One is empty and basic. The other paints a picture. It sets a mood. It gives her something emotional to respond to. Only after that, you can follow up with, "What do you think of the music?" Now, you're not just asking for her opinion. You're inviting her into a space you already created. A space that already has feeling, energy, direction. Here's the truth most men don't know. Women don't want to lead the moment. They want to feel something. And when you create an atmosphere with your words, your tone, your calm, you become the source of that feeling. That's when she starts to lean in. That's when she starts to pay attention, not just to your words, but to your presence. Because now you're not begging for her attention. You're holding your own. And that quiet strength is rare. So remember, you don't need to impress her with the perfect question. You just need to speak from your center. Give her something real to feel, and let her step into your world, not pull you into hers. How to handle disagreement like a man. Let's say you walk up to a woman. You start a good conversation. You feel like the energy is right. Then she says something like, "I don't really like this place." Now, this is the moment that separates boys from men. What does the average guy do? He panics. He wants to stay in her good books. So he quickly agrees. "Yeah, I guess it's not that great." Why does he do this? Because deep down, he's afraid of disagreement. He thinks, if I don't agree with her, maybe she won't like me. So he gives up his opinion to please her. But here's the problem. When you agree just to avoid tension, she feels it. She knows you're bending yourself to be liked, and instead of feeling closer to you, she loses respect. Now here's the truth no one tells you. Tension is not your enemy. It's your superpower. Tension means there's real emotion in the moment. Tension creates energy, chemistry, unpredictability. It makes her wonder who you are and what you'll say next. So what does a strong man do in that same moment? He doesn't argue, he doesn't get defensive, but he doesn't fold either. He stands firm with calm curiosity. He says, "Really? What don't you like about it?" Or, "Interesting. I was actually starting to like it. What would make it better for you?" With just one sentence, you keep your position, but you also invite her into the moment. You're not trying to win. You're showing that your opinion matters, and you're not afraid of a little disagreement. That energy makes her feel something much deeper than just being polite. It makes her feel challenged in a good way. It creates spark, mystery, a sense of emotional tension that most men are too scared to create. So next time a woman disagrees with you, don't panic. Don't switch sides. Don't give in just to make her like you. Instead, breathe, smile, stay grounded in your truth, and show her that disagreement doesn't shake you. Because that is the kind of man she remembers. Real examples. That shift energy. Let's now talk about how to actually speak in a way that pulls her in, instead of pushing her away. Because most men don't realize this. It's not just what you say. It's how you start the energy of the conversation. If you begin with boring, empty questions, you sound like every other guy. But if you start by sharing something real, you stand out immediately. Here's a common weak example. "What do you do?" Sounds normal, right? But here's the problem. It puts all the work on her. It makes her feel like she's being interviewed again. Now try this instead. "I'm in design. I enjoy building things that people can actually feel, stuff that creates an experience." What about you? What makes your work meaningful? Look at the shift. Now you're not just pulling information from her. You're offering a piece of your world first. You're showing what you value, You're showing depth, clarity, and passion. And then, you invite her to share her world too. This creates balance. Here's another example. Instead of asking, "Do you like this kind of music?" try saying, "This song feels different at night. It's got that movie scene energy, like something's about to happen. Or maybe I'm just overthinking it. What's your vibe?" That's real energy. You're painting a picture. You're showing your emotions, your thoughts, your mood. Now, she's not just answering a question, she's joining a feeling. That's the difference between surface talk and emotional connection. And here's what matters most. You're not begging for her approval. You're not asking just to get her attention. You're offering a doorway into your world. And when a woman feels like she's being invited into something unique, she doesn't just respond. She remembers you. Because you're not just another guy asking questions. You're the man who makes her feel something. Tension equals emotion equals memory. Here's one of the most important truths about attraction, a truth that most men never figure out. Attraction doesn't grow in comfort, it grows in tension. But not just any kind of tension, it has to be the right kind. Emotional tension that creates curiosity, play, and depth. Now here's where most men go wrong. They believe if they're always nice, polite, agreeable, she'll like them more. They think that if they avoid conflict, avoid challenge, avoid any disagreement, it'll make her feel safe. And yes, it might make her feel safe. But safe doesn't mean desire. When everything is smooth and soft, it becomes forgettable. It feels flat, emotionless, predictable. And no one remembers what's predictable. Real attraction comes from moments that make you feel something. Think about it. The most powerful conversations you've had in life probably weren't the easiest ones. They were the ones that had friction, tension, a twist you didn't see coming. Maybe a disagreement, a moment of vulnerability, something unexpected that hit you emotionally. That's what sticks. Now apply that to your conversations with women. If every word you say is designed to be safe and approved, you may be liked, but you'll never be remembered. Let's take a simple moment. She says, "I hate this song." The average guy, he panics. He changes his opinion on the spot. He says something like, "Oh yeah, I guess it's not that great." Why? Because he doesn't want conflict. He wants her to like him, even if that means losing his own opinion. But to her, that shows weakness. It shows fear. It shows that you'll bend to keep her approval. Now imagine this instead. You smile, relaxed, and say, "Damn, you're hard to impress. I respect that. What else is on your blacklist?" Suddenly, everything shifts. You didn't attack her. You didn't back down. You kept your cool and made it playful. That small spark of tension, it makes her laugh. It keeps her curious. It makes her want to stay in the moment with you, because now you feel real. And that's the energy that creates emotional memory. It's rare to find a man who can disagree without becoming defensive. Even more rare to find one who does it with a smile, with play, and with grounded presence. That's what makes you exciting to talk to. That's what makes you unforgettable. So next time you feel that little spark of tension, don't run from it. Lean into it, with charm, with calm, with confidence, because that's not a problem. That's the doorway to desire. Adjusting intensity for different women. Now let's be clear. This doesn't mean you go full savage with every woman you meet. Not every situation needs high intensity. And not every woman will respond well to strong teasing or playful challenges, at least not right away. This is where real skill comes in. A powerful man isn't just confident, he's aware. He knows how to read the room. He can sense when to raise the energy and when to slow it down. Let's say you're talking to a more quiet or shy woman. She's calm, reserved, and soft-spoken. If you throw out a bold line like, "You're hard to impress, huh?" it might feel too much for her. It could push her away. But that doesn't mean you stop being confident. You don't change the strategy, you adjust the delivery. Here's a better way to say it. I like that you know what you like. It's rare to meet someone with a strong mind. Now you're saying the same thing, but with warmth, with respect, with presence. You're still leading the conversation. You're still showing strength, but you're making her feel safe inside the moment instead of challenged too soon. This is not about being fake, it's about being smart. Because attraction isn't just about what you say, it's about when you say it, how you say it, and to whom you say it. It's not a one-size-fits-all game. This is strategy, this is timing, this is awareness. It's about feeling her vibe and responding with leadership, not control. It's knowing when to apply pressure and when to pull back without losing your power. When you start winning, don't collapse. This is where most men fail, right after they start to succeed. You lead the conversation with calm confidence. You create tension, energy, and interest. She smiles, she laughs, she leans in. Maybe she touches your arm, plays with her hair, or gives you that look that says, "I'm into this." And in your mind, you think, "This is it. I've got her. It's working." But then something changes. You stop doing what got you here. You become too comfortable. You start relaxing your presence. You stop leading with intention. And you start trying to keep her attention rather than continue to deserve it. That's when the energy shifts. Suddenly, she doesn't laugh as much. She looks at her phone. She pulls away, not physically, but emotionally. And you're left wondering, what just happened? Everything was going so well. Here's what happened. You started chasing the moment instead of leading it. You see, the same energy that attracted her in the beginning, the presence, the confidence, the emotional leadership, that's the same energy you have to keep bringing. Attraction is like a fire. If you stop feeding it, it doesn't stay warm. It cools down, fast. It's not about being perfect. It's not about being funny every second or mysterious all the time. It's about staying present, staying grounded, continuing to lead, even after things start going well. Because here's something women feel almost instantly: conditional confidence. She can tell if your confidence was only there to win her over, and now that you've received her interest, you've stopped showing up with strength. And when that happens, the attraction dies. So here's the rule. When she gives you more, you don't give less. You give more presence, you stay focused, relaxed, but alert, open, but still in control, warm, but never weak. Women don't just want to feel good in the beginning, they want to feel like the version of you that sparked their desire is the version of you that stays. That's how you separate yourself from the rest. That's what keeps her coming back. The man she craves. In the end, this isn't about clever tricks. It's not about knowing the perfect words to say. It's not even about being the best-looking guy in the room. It's about something deeper, something she doesn't even fully understand, but always feels. It's about how your presence makes her feel, not through sweet compliments, not through begging for her attention, but through your quiet energy. Because the truth is, she doesn't want a man who tries hard to impress her. She doesn't want a man who copies her opinions just to be accepted. She doesn't want a man who's always available, always chasing, always afraid to lose her. She wants a man who is already complete on his own, a man who is already living a life that has direction, a man who has peace in his mind and purpose in his heart, a man who doesn't need to be liked because he already respects himself. That kind of man is rare. That kind of energy is unforgettable. He speaks clearly, but without trying to convince anyone. He listens, but doesn't fold. He can connect deeply, but never begs. He can lead, not to control her, but to invite her into something stronger than comfort. That's the kind of man who stays in her memory. Not because he followed some dating script, not because he told her what she wanted to hear, but because he carried himself with power, calm, and quiet confidence. So here's your reminder. Stop chasing approval. Stop waiting for signs that you're good enough. Stop thinking you need to impress her with words. Just show up, fully present, speak from a real place, lead with calm energy, and stay grounded in who you are. Because when she feels that, when she feels your strength without arrogance, your calm without fear, your interest without need, she will feel something real, something deep, something that other men can't fake. And once she feels that, no small talk, no soft compliments, no needy attention can compete with you. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be true and unshakably present. That's the man she craves. That's the man you're here to become. Final words. If this video shifted something in you, if you saw your old habits clearly, and you're ready to lead with presence, not permission, then it's time to step into your next level. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next video, because we're going deeper into attraction, power, and emotional control. The kind of tools no one teaches, but every man needs. Tap like if this cut through the noise and showed you something real, and comment the word power below. If you're done chasing and ready to start holding frame like a man who leads, not follows. Because the truth is simple. You were never meant to beg for attention. You were meant to become the source of it.